People love to say that when a dog licks you, it means they are giving you a kiss. It sounds nice. It feels nice. But it is not exactly true. In fact, the real reason dogs lick you is a lot closer to something gross than something romantic. But before we get into that, there are a few dog myths we need to clear up, because most people misunderstand what their dog is actually doing. For example, when a dog wags their tail, people assume that means they are happy. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it really does not. A slow, low tail wag often means the dog is unsure or nervous. A stiff, fast wag can mean they are overstimulated or even feeling aggressive. There was even a study that found dogs tend to wag their tails more to the right when they feel good, and more to the left when they feel uneasy. So if your dog is wagging, that does not automatically mean they are friendly. It just means they are feeling something. Another thing people get wrong is when dogs eat grass. You will hear people say that dogs only eat grass when they are sick and trying to make themselves throw up. But according to one study, only about 22% of dogs that eat grass actually vomit afterward. And only 8% showed any signs of being sick before they ate it. Most of the time, dogs eat grass because they are bored, curious, or anxious, just like people who fidget when they have nothing to do. Now, here is something that really does matter. A lot of people think that if a food is safe for humans, it must also be safe for dogs. That is not true. Chocolate, grapes, raisins, onions, and macadamia nuts are all dangerous for dogs, even though we eat them all the time. Some of them can cause kidney failure or serious poisoning. If you are not sure about a food, your vet is always the best person to ask. Another myth that almost everyone believes is that 1 human year equals 7 dog years. That rule came from the idea that humans live about 70 years and dogs live about 10. But it is much more complicated than that. Small dogs can live 15 years or more. Large dogs sometimes only live 8 or 9. According to the American Kennel Club, the first year of a dog's life is about 15 human years. After that, each year is closer to 5 human years. So your 1-year-old puppy is already closer to a teenager than a baby. Before we get to the licking part, there is one thing people always misunderstand about dogs: humping. A lot of people think only male dogs hump and that it is always sexual. But female dogs do it too. And most of the time, it has nothing to do with sex. Humping is usually a way to release excitement, stress, or social tension. It is more like a dog saying, "I have too much energy and I don't know what to do with it." And it is not the only behavior people blame on male dogs. People also think only male dogs lift their leg to pee and mark territory. But female dogs do it too, especially when they are in heat or when they are trying to communicate with other dogs. Now here is another thing that can actually hurt your dog. A lot of people give their dogs real bones to chew on because it feels natural. But real bones can splinter. They can crack teeth. They can get stuck in the throat or stomach. That is why vets usually recommend rubber toys or nylon chews instead. Your dog still gets the calming, stress-relieving benefit of chewing without the danger. Another thing people do that seems helpful but is not is shaving their dog in the summer. A dog's coat protects them from heat, sunburn, and bugs. If they have a double coat, like a shepherd or a retriever, shaving it can actually make them overheat. If you're not sure what your dog needs, it is always better to ask a groomer or a vet before using clippers. Here's a lighter myth. People think dogs are colorblind. They are not. They just do not see colors the same way we do. They see blues very well, but reds and greens look more like dark or yellowish shades to them. So that bright red toy you bought might not stand out nearly as much as you think. Now here is one that affects how people treat their dogs. You do not need to be your dog's alpha. Wolf researchers like Dr. David Meck have explained that wolf packs are more like families than power struggles. The leaders are parents, not bullies. Your dog is not trying to take over your house because you let them sit on the couch. They are just being a dog. Playing tug with your dog will not make them aggressive either. Letting them win does not make them dominant. It just means you are playing together. And playing together builds trust. The same goes for fetch. Not all dogs love it. If your dog would rather sniff or chew or wrestle, that is completely normal. Another big myth is that a tired dog is always a good dog. If you have ever seen an overtired toddler, you know that is not true. Dogs can get overtired too. When that happens, they get zoomies, nippy, and wild. A mix of physical exercise and mental games works much better. Now we get to the gross part. People say a dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's. It is not. Dogs and humans both have billions of bacteria in their mouths. Dogs just have different kinds. Most of their bacteria does not hurt us, which is why this myth exists, but it does not mean their mouths are clean. And that brings us to the licking. When your dog licks your face, they are not just giving you a kiss. In the wild, wolf puppies lick their mother's mouth to make her throw up food so they can eat it. That instinct never went away. So when your dog licks your face, part of them is saying, "Hey, do you have something in there for me?" They also lick because they like salt. They lick sweat. They lick food smells. They lick to groom. And sometimes, yes, they lick to show affection. It is a weird mix of love and leftovers. So the next time your dog licks your face, just remember, it might be sweet, but it is not exactly what you think. And if you want to understand your dog even better, what is one thing your dog does that you have always wondered about? Drop it in the comments. And if you enjoy learning the real truth about dogs, subscribe so you do not miss the next one.